I think it's had a very large impact. Mainly, it has, they've just been the classes that I've enjoyed going to a lot. And so a lot of time I'll be like, oh, gotta go to writing. Oh, I don't want to go there. But then I'm like, oh, hey, I get to go to game design. Woohoo! And so they're helpful because, or like, it's made an impact because it's just made it easier to get through the day because it's classes that are fun are always, more fun to go to rather than ones that you just kind of sit and do nothing. But it's also taught me a lot of skills, but I'll answer that in another question. So there's that. I think it's had a massive impact on my future plans, mainly because I'm going to go into computer science in college, and without these I would have not at all, because before going into like these classes, I had no idea what I was going to do in my future, and so I was kind of open to anything. And then I don't know, I kind of had a day where I was like, hey, I enjoy this. Maybe I can do this for a living. And so it's in my future because of these classes, so it's impacted that in a major, major way. I think computer science is valuable because it helps people approach things logically. And so you get a problem and you have to figure out how you're going to solve it with the tools you have / the tools you don't have, but how to get those tools as well. So it's certainly helped a lot in like math. Like there are a lot of concepts that are like given that I understand quicker, or I can figure out how they work better because of my background in computer science in these classes. And then they're just helpful in the real world just because computers are a part of our daily lives everywhere, the smartphones and this and that. So the more you know about it, the better you'll be able to use them / the more in depth, the more capabilities you'll have with them. These classes are different because they're a lot more self-driven, I feel. So in the other classes, there might be like little checkups, and they like make sure you're doing your work and this and that. Whereas in this class, it's just get your work done. If you don't get it done, it's your own fault. It's not like it helps give self-motivation because you aren't going to get pushed to do it. You'll just get the bad grade if you choose to get the bad grade. And so that's helped get intrinsic motivation, and it also makes it so if you want to work on something else, you can do that. It's a lot more real world like, whereas at your job, your boss isn't going to constantly check up to make sure things are going well. They're gonna just be like, hey, get this done, and then expect you to get it done. It's like they're not gonna babysit you as much. Well, one of the things I first remember being like proud of was in the Java Graph Creator project, because that was one of the first projects that I tackled without the help of any videos. That was one of the first ones where I was like, okay, here's the problem. I'm going to do this code. I didn't like look up someone else doing that, or like watch someone else code, or like look at their code. I did it myself, and eventually I did reference other people, and like in the final product I did reference it. But when I the first I don't know, I guess the prototype of the program, you could say, it was 100% like my work, and I was just kind of like, man, I did this all on my own, and I figured out how to get this function in this program to work. Like I said earlier, the ability to like be more logical and like how to approach a problem solving, like with the math and like seeing a problem, figuring out how to do it, what tools you have, that. And then also with the intrinsic motivation that I also said before, with You have to get stuff done on your own, and if you don't, then that's your own fault. And then also computer skills, like I said before, where you're better with the computer and you know how to navigate things and understand how the things under the hood work. They do help you work on a team in regards to during the couple, like in robotics, you're almost always with a group, but in like C++ and Java, there's like 1 or 2 group projects, but they kind of help you. It helps teach you like to collaborate and how to communicate in order to succeed. / shows how when you don't collaborate and don't communicate, it's a lot harder to succeed because a lot of your group will be left in the dark and they won't be as up to date as you think they are, and so you need to communicate. And so that's one of the skills I think I got as well.